Good evening. This is our second fireside chat with Virginia Stevenson and myself. And what we're doing is we're going through the teachings from the Oneness University that are associated with the different chakras. And tonight we're working with the heart chakra, the fourth chakra. And the teaching is, to love is to accept yourself as you are. That, most people find, is a very difficult thing to do.
In fact, Buck, I think if you ask 10 people or 20 people on the street if they love themselves, I think everyone would say, of course I love myself. But in the culture and society we've been brought up in, many of our institutions, especially religious institutions, have taught us that we can't love ourselves because we're not perfect. We have to be perfect before we're worthy of our own love. And so we continually say, I'll love myself one day when I'm perfect, and the train never reaches the station.
I can just think of an example. If you look at this mirror, Virginia, can you say, I love you, Virginia? Or what comes up in your head?
Well, I can, but it's real easy to see that my hair's out of place. I'm not the most attractive person in the world. I've got a lot of flaws that I'm looking at. But if I look with my divine eyes, I see the divine.
Yes.
But it's easy to see the little hickeys and the little faults. And I think we train ourselves to see the faults in ourselves.
Yeah. You know, we make judgments of ourselves, and we let those judgments supersede really loving ourselves. It gets in the way of loving ourselves. And I think the best example of this that I know about, when we fall in love, the person we're in love with is perfect. We're feeling perfect. The whole world is perfect. And it stays like that for a little while, until one day we make a judgment about the other person. And then the perfection starts to fall away. But if we can truly love ourselves, then we can truly love other people. And that state of euphoria that we knew when we fall in love can become a permanent state of how we live in this world, when we accept ourselves just as we are.
And the other benefit, there's many benefits, but the other one that comes to mind is the fact that when I totally love myself, it's amazing how many people I see around that I just totally love, just like they are. If I can give myself a break to love every part of me, I can love that other person with their faults that I see too. So the world becomes a beautiful place. It becomes one's own garden of the heart. And that's why this chakra teaching is so important. Also, it is an entrance to being able for the divine to dwell in your heart and those two loves to intermingle in a perfect dance together. I'm going to lead you in a guided meditation. It's going to be about 5 minutes, and you're probably going to want to close your eyes. So, sit in a comfortable place, firm, erect spine, and just relaxed in front. Relax your legs, relax your neck and your shoulders. And take 3 deep breaths and just be centered in yourself and relax, forgetting what happened earlier today. Don't worry about tonight. Just be in the moment and breathe. Breathe. And the first feeling you have is one of gratitude. You're so thankful that you have the divine dwelling in your heart. You're thankful that you love yourself. You're thankful that you're learning more about that every day. And be centered in your heart, realizing the divine is there and you're there with your divine. And take 3 deep breaths of gratitude and be very thankful. And now in your heart, just simply turn, either to the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And you see a hallway and there's a door. And on the front of the door is your name. But as you look closer, you see that there are many names written on the door. And this is the door of all your existences, all your lifetimes. And so you go to the door and you open it up, and you're facing along the hallway. And the doors and the things on the left of the hallway are your successes in your existence. All the things you've done wonderfully, the families that you've had love with, many partners and children and families that are so richly remembered, and the things you've done that you count as successes. You look at the left side, you see those, and you're very grateful for all those. And you take 3 deep breaths in gratitude. And then on the right side of the hallway are the things that have been disappointments, or maybe mistakes, or you might call them errors, or things that you look back and maybe regret. There are things that hurt, things that when you said a sharp word to someone, when a relationship broke apart, tragedies that you've lived through. All those things are on the right side. And you're tempted to regret those and push them away, but then we remember the words of Rumi, who said to God, "There is not one thought or word or event or happening that I experienced that did not lead me to you, O God." And we look at the right side with a different attitude and realize that all these experiences have helped lead us to who we are, with the divine indwelling our hearts. And we're able to love ourselves with the right side and the left side. In spite of anything we've done, we're able to accept that unconditional love right now. And we take 3 deep breaths and are thankful for that. And then we walk down the hallway and get to the end. We open the door and we come out on this huge viewing area, glass window 20 feet high and 40 feet long, and we're in space and we're looking at the planet Earth. We're in sort of a remote viewing area and we're seeing the planet. And this is our Earth, and we can see the continents and the oceans and the clouds around the Earth. And we realize that there's over 7 billion people running around on the Earth. And we realize that parts of it are so beautiful, but we also know things are happening on our Earth that we may not like, or we may wish that were different. But with the same love that we saw in the hallway for ourselves, the same love that we've given ourselves unconditionally, we now look at the Earth and we say, "I love you unconditionally." And with that love for our Earth, we take 3 deep breaths in gratitude. And now we look above the Earth and we see the infinite stretch of our universe. We see the galaxies, the stars, the suns. We see the planets. We see everything moving at very fast speeds. And we don't know much about it, but we know that it's a miracle that we can look at it. We know that even there's a place in the universe where there's no movement, way light years away from us. And we don't know a lot about it, but with the same love that we loved ourselves, we look at the galaxies and the stars, and we love them unconditionally, just the way they are. And we take 3 deep breaths in gratitude of that. And now we return our consciousness to our hearts, wherever we're sitting. we realize that it's our destiny to love ourselves, and let the Divine's love and our love intermingle in our consciousness. And we take 3 deep breaths, and we're very grateful for who we are. And when you're ready, let your consciousness come back into the room. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Be very thankful for who you are. Remember the teaching of the 4th chakra. Love yourself. Practice it. It'll change your life.